Peace, guys. This is a writing vlog, but I didn't really do any writing. I've literally just been doing research. But this is a writing vlog because I have two exciting announcements. The first is, I have three exciting announcements. First is Lou has a bone. Yes, Lou has this bone and she loves it. And she's trying to slurp all of the marrow out of this bone. She's already licked all the meat off of it, and now she's just eating it to eat it. So that's the first exciting news. Second exciting news is I received 2 copies of the book I purchased, which I have a story in. I have a contributor copy still on the way, but these are the ones I got from Amazon. If you see on the back, there I am, Nicholas Gray. Third last story in the book. I'll flip to the story right now. Oh, I already passed it. Here I am. Trunk or Treat by Nicholas Gray. And the story is written in third person. So I'll read the first little paragraph for you guys. Hey, wait up! Ronald cried after the 2 boys that were making their way to the next car. See, I don't like the way I wrote it in third person. First person narrative was the better narrative, but they chose to go with the third person. So Ronald was a chubby kid who loved Halloween, but the other boys moved faster than him, and it was hard for him to keep up. Carlos and Johnny had already given out their requisite phrase, trick or treat, and were receiving candy in exchange, my bad, that's a period. They were looking down at what treats they had just acquired when Ronald finally reached them, panting and heaving up a storm. So, that's the first paragraph. If you're interested in reading that, let me know. It's like 4 pages long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My fingers are so dry. 6, 7. Fingers are so dry, it's hard to flip pages. So it's like, it goes from 355 to 362. So that's 7 pages long, which is what about what I have on my laptop. And yeah, check it out. The Books of Horror Community Anthology Volume 1. I like the cover too. It's pretty neat. Brian Scott made it. It includes a bunch of cool stories from a bunch of cool authors. A lot of these authors are first timers like me. And then other ones have been producing work for a long time, like Mike Duke, R.J. Rolls. I mean, there's a few I know of for sure. Scott Deegan, Kevin J. Kennedy, Eleanor Mary, and so on. There's just a bunch of stories from a bunch of people on here. It closes off with Tara Lascano. That's a hard name to say. I'm sorry, guys. I jacked up that name, and it starts with Jay Mazer. So that's pretty awesome, isn't it? I'm very honored to be a part of this anthology. Yeah. The other thing I have to say is I'm also going to be receiving a contributor copy of another anthology that's coming out in March. They haven't released a cover or any illustrations for the book yet. And I still haven't gotten the okay to tell you guys what it is. For some of you, you might know already because I slipped up. So I'm just going to say it. Nightmare Soup, Volume 3. I had my thumb up, sorry, 3. They're gonna have a bunch of people contribute to this copy. I got 2 stories in it. They said they'd pay me either at the end of the week or the beginning of next week. So tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm getting paid any day now, if not already, because I haven't looked at my PayPal yet this morning. Yeah, I'm very excited. They said they're going to be giving me a contributor copy. So I'm going to be getting a contributor copy, which I'm very excited about. I'm also going to buy 2 copies for my family, because they've been a big influence for me. So, yeah. Let me check my PayPal real quick. I shouldn't do this on camera, but yep, still haven't gotten paid nothing. So I'm just gonna close out of that. Close out of a bunch of things. Alright. But yeah, I'm gonna be receiving a contributor copy from Nightmare Soup. I got a piece of glitter on my face. Saw it sparkle. Doesn't look like it's there anymore. What was the third news? Oh, yeah. Let's start off with this. My artist that I love going to for art, for book covers mostly, I have bought some stuff from him that I've never used, and I feel very bad about that. Technically, nothing I bought from him yet has been used, but that's going to change in the summer when gray matter jumps or comes in. But anyways, I have this story I'm working on called Take Me From Here. The artist came up with the story name because I couldn't think of anything original for the story title. And I was like, I told my artist, I told him what it's about, and he came up with the name. So, did I say editor before? I meant the artist. My artist came up with the name, and I loved it. Take Me From Here. I'm thinking about trying to add that quote, make that like a quote that happened somewhere in the book. You know, oh man, I wish someone would just take me from here. Or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really decided. Basically, story is about this girl who gets abducted and tossed and locked into a trunk. And she gets taken up to somewhere remote, and that's all I can really say. And this is just her journey of being trapped in a trunk. It's gonna be probably a novella. I am expecting it to be a novella. I'm still working out some of the quirks and the other things about the story. Like when did she get abducted and stuff like that. Trivial things. But I've done a lot of research. I know what car she's gonna be abducted in. I know a lot of things. Sorry, it sounds sounds like I don't know nothing about my book. Sorry, I'm just a little tired. I haven't taken my second round of medicine yet, and the first has already kind of worn off, so I'm a little out of it. I still see that piece of glitter on my face. What the heck? Not get that piece of glitter off. Did I get it off? Okay, I think I got it off this time. But anyways, it's about this girl who gets abducted by her ex and tossed and locked into the trunk. She wakes up in the trunk, and they're driving to God knows where. And then the ex-boyfriend goes off, and she's stranded there in a car. No food, no water, and it's in the middle of the summer. So it's about her trying to escape this trunk of an Lexus, from a Lexus 1993 or 93 Lexus, in the middle of the summer. So it's going to be very hard for her to do that. I've done so much research on this story, how to escape from Trunks, which cars can be escaped from, what cars cannot be escaped from, which is harder to find than you would think. Basically any car before 2002, like every car after 2002 has an escape pull tab. So if you get abducted, you could pull the tab and escape. They had a lot of deaths via people getting locked in trunks. And I had someone arguing with me, not arguing with me, but trying to give me advice that I wouldn't take. It's not that I wouldn't take it, it's just that I've done so much research that I kind of know some things, and his things kind of conflicted with mine. He said you can escape through the back seat by tearing off the liner and, you know, taking down everything else, the metal that, you know, and then you can escape through the seats. But, there's been so many people who have been trapped inside of trunks and died. And if it was that easy, why wouldn't they have done that? Maybe they don't know. That could be something. But for some reason, I want to say I doubt that. But I'll look into it more. I'm really trying to make sure that the car is like inescapable. But from my knowledge, it is inescapable. And then I gotta find a way for her to escape the inescapable car. So it's very interesting. I love the story so far. And yeah, but basically, that's what my story's about. My artist came up with a name and slapped it on a cover. He was having a sale on his covers, pre-made covers, and I jumped at the chance. The cover I got was really cool. I'll post it somewhere here, or I will post it at the end. If I'm lazy, I won't post it, but I'm gonna try to post it. But it's a really beautiful cover. It doesn't scream horror. It's more like a literary horror cover. Like, it's gonna be horror, trust me, but it doesn't scream horror when you see the image. And you wouldn't know why the image looks like it does unless you read the book. So I think that's good. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. It looks like the backdrop of the picture looks like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, just hilly, grassy areas with nothing but trees. And then you got pictures, which they go from like nice peaceful things to one that's all water damaged, and then one that is taken at night and it's just a bunch of night lights out there. Really pretty cover. I need to figure out where those first three pictures come, like from the top, and the top three, where those pictures come from, because I don't want to get it wrong and guess like Ireland or Greenland or something, like, or Iceland, I should say, because I don't want to get it wrong. But I see something and I want to take it out. Sorry. Yeah, it's a really good cover. I'm sighing because I'm thinking about all the research I have to do. Still, I have to create characters, which I don't actually really create characters that well. I just kind of go with the flow. Like, I'm trying to make this character have flaws and stuff like that. That she has to overcome. Someone suggested to me about doing that, having these flaws that they have to overcome. They said it makes the story much more interesting, so I'm working on that. I'm also, I have a few stories my Aunt Yvonne gave me a while ago, like the elements of story writing, the elements of a story. I got screenplay writing, I have my Perfect English Grammar book. So I have all these books that are gonna help me with my story writing. But at the same time, it's gonna be a while before I read them because yeah. So I'm taking this is kind of a challenge for me, because it's a story that takes place in one place, the whole story, maybe the whole story. I haven't really decided yet what happens. I have a few scenes already planned. I'm not gonna tell you them because I want to surprise you this time with this book. But I'm very excited about this piece of work I've been working on. I took a break from my novel and my novella to start working on this. I even have been thinking about bringing some of the stories I wrote in the past back to life, like bringing them back from the dead. Like the Barlow's Horror, if you guys remember me talking about that a long time ago in my earlier writing vlogs. I had a story about this family who moves into this house and this monster preys on them. There's I don't want to say anything else about it because maybe it might be finished one day, and if that day comes, then you guys would already know what it's about and wouldn't want to purchase it, or at least let me sign a copy for you. Sorry, I think I'm coming down with something as well, so I'm not really feeling too hot lately. But it's been a run, and it's been a good run lately. I haven't done a lot of writing, but there's a lot of stuff going on, like Books of Horror has been released with my story inside of it. Nightmare Soup is producing my story in their anthology. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you, Chilling Tales for Dark Nights wants to narrate one of my stories, and they asked me if they could pay me to write a story for them, a camping story. So I gotta get working on that soon. I don't know what I'm gonna write about, but stories usually just come to me. So if I think long and hard about it, I can probably come up with a story about camping. I already have kind of an idea for a camping story, but it's still in the works. Trying to find the horror elements of it. Trying to make a cool monster. Maybe one that clicks and stuff. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But ow, my knee. We'll figure stuff out. But yeah. My story is called Take Me From Here. That's the story about the girl locked in the trunk. I've only written from the female perspective once, and it went well, actually. I'm surprised how well I wrote from the female perspective, but then again, I just treat them like normal people. So it's not like I make them all sissy and all my nails and stuff like that. I just make them a normal person with normal human likes, and it went well the first time. So I'm hoping that I do well the second time. I already have the name of the main character or the protagonist or whatever you want to call him. I already have it how I want to write it, like in third person. I've been writing a lot of first person lately, so with my short stories. Obviously my novel has a third person narrative, and so does my novella that I'm working on, Space Waste and Symbiotic. Symbiotic being the novel. I've been doing a lot of research lately, and it takes me a long time to start a story because of how much research I do. Someone applauded me recently about how much research I do. They said that it's a really good thing that I do my research. They say that a lot of people don't do research, and it's not good for the reader, but the fact that I'm doing so much research on my story is a good thing. That's what they said. I had another person say that it takes me too long to write a book. They said that I should already have finished my book, my first novel. Because I told them I'm probably gonna finish it around the summer or the winter, like for sure the winter. But I'm trying to finish it before the summer, or at least a rough draft. He said that it's taking me too long to write the story. That's a year, and he said a year's too long to write a story. But I write at my own pace, and I have a lot of different works going on at the same time. Plus, I have my real life that gets in the way sometimes. So there's just things that happen and stop me from reaching my goal of finishing a book in like a month. Because a lot of authors, they get this idea, they write it, and then they're done. Not me. It goes like I do a week or two of research, then I start writing, and then usually what happens is that I'll run into problems, and then I have to do more research and more research and more research, and yeah. But a lot of research going on. And that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I know I take forever to write a book, but it's gonna pay off in the end. It's gonna pay off in the end when readers like what I write. I hope. I've been I keep getting told that my writing's improving, and everyone tells me how they see the talent. They can't wait for me to get good though. Like, they see that the talent's there. They see that I how much work I put into my stuff, and they know that one day I will be a good writer. But they say that I'm not there yet. And I know I have a long way to go before I become a writer. Or at least, like, I call myself an aspiring writer, even though I have a story in an anthology now. So technically I'm a published author. But I still think once my first novel drops, that I can start calling myself a writer. I'm on page like 156 with 47,000 words. In my symbiotic story, I can actually tell you verbatim what it is. 47,462 words in my symbiotic story. And I'm pretty much wrapping it up. So it's like a very short novel. I don't want to say it's a little longer than a novella because it's almost 50,000 words, which is a novel length. Someone told me that 40,000 is a novel length, but that's like 150 pages, so or that's less than 150 pages, and that's considered a novella. So I don't know, but I'm almost to a novel. What I think is a novel, and that's 50,000 words. That will put me around maybe 200 pages, most likely 180. For sure, 180. And yeah, that's been a fun story to write. Very fun story. I thought I would lose interest, but I've read enough coming of age stories to know how to write one. This is a coming of age novel, by the way, about two boys who are bullied all the time. And even though it's about these two boys, it's also about the bully. And it's not your generic bully. This bully has issues, and he's like a normal kid too. So, it's about him as well. So it's not just about these two main characters who just get bullied by your typical bullies. One is a typical bully, but the other one has some story to him too, some character development. Excuse me. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. I kind of rambled a little longer than I thought I would. I'm at 25 minutes. Um, so I think I'm gonna end this clip soon. Or not clip, this video. Like I said, lately I've had some really good books come in the mail, but I haven't read in like 3 days. I just kind of been in a funk and I don't want to read. I just kind of want to work on my writing lately, which is cool. But I miss reading, and it's hard to get back into a book when taking a long break for me, because I always want to start something new after a long break, and it's like jumping into an old book. I don't know. It's hard to explain, to be honest. But I'm gonna try to read a little bit of Bad Brains by Kathy Koja, and then I will be reading James Rath James White, sorry, my dyslexia, Skins. And I think that's 2 S's at the end, or is it 2 Z's? I don't know. I think it's 2 S's. This book is so much shorter than Bad Brains. It is 186 pages. So, very quick read. I mean, I had a day where 2 days where I read 75 pages, I think it was. So, I think I can read this one pretty easily, in a week maybe. I know it's taken me a while to read my Kathy Koja book, but this one is pretty, font's nice, and I hear great things about Rath James White. That was this by Deadite Press. Rath James White. That is a sick cover, guys, and I can't wait to get into it. This is my Black History Month book. I'm also listening to Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys, but I think I want to take a break from it. I have taken a break from it, I should say, and try to go back and re-listen to it, because I feel like I missed something, and something very important, because I don't know what's going on, and it feels like nothing's happened in the book, and I'm 2 hours into the book, and it's a 6-hour book, so something should have happened, and I feel like I missed it. So I'm gonna go back and re-listen to it. I just feel bad, because I don't like missing things and then judging a book for it being boring because I was barely paying attention, which I am paying attention, but just not as much as I should. But yeah, that's my writing vlog. Tell me how your guys' writing is going, or your reading. How's your reading going? I know not all of y'all are writers, so that's cool. But to my fellow writers, shout out yourself, and if you have a channel, shout out your channel. I have 100 subscribers, so maybe some of them will see you post in the comments, and maybe they'll subscribe. I'm not a big YouTuber, but I do reviews. If you haven't known that, if you didn't know that, my Kathy Koja book, it will be reviewed on this channel, and then so will Skins by Rath James White. I also just got a book from a author, so I'm gonna read that. He's also a friend of mine, so I'm gonna review his book and give him the best review I can. He is a good writer, though, so I doubt I'm gonna not like it. Like, I doubt I'm gonna dislike it, because I already read something by him, like it was a short story that he let me read for free, to get a taste of his writing, and basically judge it for him. So I already know he's a good writer, and that's Jason Myers, I think his name is. Good guy. I can't wait to get into his stuff. Um, uh, his book is called Cupid. Go check it out. He released it for Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day has passed, but I hear that it can be read any time of the year. So I'm definitely gonna give it a read sometime around here. Right now it's Women of Horror Month, or Ladies of Horror Month, and Black History Month. So I'm strictly reading women and black writers right now. And that's basically gonna be like 2 books plus the audiobook. So it's gonna be it's almost, the month's halfway over, so, and I'm still reading Bad Brains by Kathy Koja, but it's a good book. I'm just a little exhausted about, reading so much lately. I got burnout, and now I want to write a little bit, so I'm gonna go hop into my writing. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you have a spooky night. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.